From humble beginnings to global domination, the One Championship story is a true underdog tale of excellence. Join us as we explore the history, evolution, and success of One, and discover what makes it one of the most exciting and dynamic sports organizations on the planet. Since its inception in 2011, One has grown to become the largest global sports media property in Asian history, broadcasting to over 150 countries worldwide. How did this organization rise to the top of the MMA world? Let's dive in to find out. One Championship is a Singapore-based mixed martial arts organization that has grown to become one of the largest in the world. But what many people don't know is the story behind the founders of One, Chatri Sityodtong and Victor Cui. Victor Cui was born on February 22, 1972, in Edmonton, Canada. Victor was the youngest of 4 children, and his parents instilled in him a strong work ethic and a belief that anything was possible with hard work and dedication. He went on to attend the University of Alberta, where he earned a degree in economics. While in college, Victor was involved in a variety of extracurricular activities, including sports teams and student government. He also started his first business, a computer repair service, which he ran out of his dorm room. After college, Victor worked for several years in the finance industry, but he found it unfulfilling. He knew he wanted to do something more meaningful with his life, something that would allow him to make a difference in the world. He decided to pursue a career in sports management, and in 2005, he moved to Singapore to work for the National Basketball Association. Victor quickly made a name for himself at the NBA, where he helped to launch the league's first office in Southeast Asia. He worked tirelessly to promote the NBA in the region, organizing events, developing partnerships, and building a fan base. His hard work paid off, and the NBA became one of the most popular sports leagues in Southeast Asia. Despite his success at the NBA, Victor felt that something was missing. He had always been fascinated by martial arts and had studied several different styles over the years. He believed that martial arts had the power to inspire people, teach them discipline and respect, and bring them together in a shared passion. Chatri Sityodtong, on the other hand, was born in Thailand in the early 1970s. He was the youngest of 6 children in a family that was struggling to make ends meet. His father was a school teacher and his mother was a housewife. Life was tough, but Chatri was determined to succeed. Growing up in Thailand, Chatri was a shy and introverted child. He was not particularly athletic, and he struggled in school. However, he had a deep passion for martial arts, and he spent much of his free time practicing various disciplines. By the time he was in high school, he had become an accomplished martial artist, and he began to compete in local tournaments. Despite his success in martial arts, Chatri knew that he needed to get an education if he wanted to succeed in life. He applied to some of the best universities in Thailand, and he was accepted into the prestigious Thammasat University. While studying there, he became involved in a number of extracurricular activities, including student government and debate club. After graduating from Thammasat University, Chatri was offered a job at a top consulting firm in Bangkok. He was thrilled to have this opportunity, and he worked hard to prove himself in his new role. However, he soon realized that he was not fulfilled by his work, and he began to search for something more meaningful. In the late 1990s, Chatri moved to the United States to pursue an MBA at Harvard Business School. While there, he discovered that he had a passion for entrepreneurship, and he began to explore different business ideas. He started a number of companies, including a startup and a boutique investment firm, but none of them really took off. Despite setbacks, Chatri refused to give up on his dream of becoming a successful entrepreneur. He continued to work hard, and he eventually found his niche in the world of martial arts. He founded Evolve MMA, a chain of martial arts gyms in Singapore, which quickly became one of the most successful gyms in Asia. Chatri's success with Evolve MMA was just the beginning. He had bigger ambitions, and he was determined to make his mark on the world of martial arts. In 2011, Sityodtong and Cui joined forces to co-found One Championship. The organization was born out of their shared passion for martial arts and their belief that it could be used to promote health, wellness, and cultural understanding. However, starting a new sports league from scratch is no easy feat. But Cui and Sityodtong were undeterred. They believed that they could create something unique and special that would resonate with fans across Asia and beyond. Their first step was to assemble a team of industry experts with experience in all aspects of sports media, from marketing and branding to production and distribution. With their team in place, One began to craft a vision for One. They wanted to create a platform that would not only showcase world-class martial arts but also promote Asian culture and values. They decided to focus on what they called the 5 core values of One: respect, humility, honor, integrity, and discipline and make these the guiding principles of the league. The debut event of One took place in 2011 in Singapore. The league quickly gained a following across Asia and began to attract international attention. It has been steadily rising to prominence over the past few years. One of the key moments in One's rise to fame came in 2014 when it signed a broadcast deal with Fox Sports Asia. With this increased visibility, One Championship continued to grow and evolve. It held events in cities across Asia, bringing in fans from all walks of life. The promotion also signed top talent from around the world, further solidifying its reputation as a major player in the MMA world. In 2016, One announced a major partnership with the Japanese MMA organization Pancrase. This move helped to expand One reach and influence even further, as it now had a foothold in one of the most important MMA markets in the world. But perhaps the biggest milestone in One rise to prominence came in 2018 when the promotion secured a massive $166 million investment from venture capital firm Sequoia Capital. This investment allowed One to expand its operations and reach even more fans around the world. It launched a number of initiatives aimed at increasing its presence and building its brand, including its own streaming service, One Super App. One has also distinguished itself from other MMA promotions with its focus on values like honor, respect, and discipline. Over the years, One has become a global phenomenon in the world of mixed martial arts. The organization has held numerous high-profile events and produced many memorable moments that have kept fans on the edge of their seats. Let's take a closer look at some of the biggest events and highlights in One's history. 1. Enter the Dragon was an event held in Singapore in May 2019. It featured a stacked card that included several title fights and superstar fighters such as Demetrius Johnson, Eddie Alvarez, and Angela Lee. The event was widely regarded as one of the best MMA events of the year. Fans were treated to an electrifying night of fights that left everyone on the edge of their seats. One of the most anticipated fights of the night was the Flyweight Grand Prix final between Demetrius Johnson and Danny Kingad. In the end, Johnson emerged victorious. 1. Century was One's biggest event to date. Held in Tokyo in October 2019, it featured 2 full cards, one in the morning and one in the evening. The event also featured several high-profile matchups, including a rematch between Angela Lee and Qin Jingnan for the women's strawweight title. One of the most memorable fights of the night was the Featherweight Grand Prix final between Christian Lee and Sajid Hüseyin Arslanali. In a back-and-forth battle, Lee emerged victorious, becoming the Featherweight Grand Prix champion. One's biggest star, Aung La Sang, has become a true ambassador for the organization. The Myanmar-born fighter, Sang has become one of the promotion's biggest stars and most dominant champions. Since winning the middleweight title in 2017, Sang has defended his belt several times and also won the light heavyweight title. His inspiring story and impressive fighting skills have made him a fan favorite and a true ambassador for One. One has made several major signings in recent years, including former UFC champions Eddie Alvarez and Demetrius Johnson. These signings have helped to raise One's profile and bring even more top-tier talent to the organization. Their fights have been nothing short of spectacular, and fans are always excited to see what they'll do next. In 2020, One announced a partnership with video game giant Tencent, which will see One content integrated into Tencent's platforms, including WeChat. One is also expanding its reach beyond Asia, with plans to hold events in the United States and other parts of the world. In addition, the promotion has launched a new reality TV show, The Apprentice, One Championship Edition. The challenges that One faced in its early days just can't be ignored. Perhaps the biggest challenge One faced was simply getting people to pay attention to them. The UFC had been around for nearly 20 years at that point and had built up a huge following of loyal fans. One, on the other hand, was a brand new organization that most people had never heard of. In order to get noticed, One had to be creative in its marketing efforts. They did this was by emphasizing the cultural and spiritual aspects of martial arts. They held events in exotic locations like Jakarta, Manila, and Bangkok and featured martial arts styles like Muay Thai, kickboxing, and grappling. By playing up the unique aspects of its product, One was able to attract attention and differentiate itself from the UFC. Another challenge One faced was building a roster of talented fighters. Rather than giving up, One made a strategic decision to focus on developing homegrown talent. They launched a series of amateur competitions across Asia called the One Warrior Series in order to identify promising fighters who had not yet made it onto the international stage. One had to deal with the logistical challenges of putting on events in a variety of different countries with different rules and regulations. In the early days, they faced issues with everything from securing visas for fighters to navigating local laws on blood testing and drug testing. One was able to turn these challenges into opportunities. They built strong relationships with local governments and athletic commissions and worked to educate them on the benefits of martial arts and the safety measures one had in place. By being proactive and transparent, one was able to establish itself as a trustworthy organization that was committed to safety and fairness. In addition to the challenges in its early days, one has faced its fair share of controversies over the years. One of the most notable controversies involving one was the alleged mistreatment of fighters. In 2019, former ONE fighter Andrew Leone accused the organization of treating fighters unfairly. Leone claimed that one would not allow fighters to negotiate their contracts or pursue opportunities with other organizations. One denied these allegations and stated that they provide fair and competitive compensation to their fighters. One has also faced criticism for its partnership with Fullerton Markets, a foreign exchange trading company. In 2019, Fullerton Markets was fined by the Monetary Authority of Singapore for violating anti-money laundering regulations. ONE Championship continued to promote Fullerton Markets despite these allegations, leading some to question the company's commitment to ethical business practices. In 2018, ONE faced another controversy involving the promotion's decision to hold an event in Myanmar 2018. The event was held just months after the Myanmar military had been accused of committing genocide against the Rohingya people. Many criticized ONE for holding the event in Myanmar and giving legitimacy to a government accused of human rights abuses. ONE defended the decision, stating that it was committed to promoting unity and inclusivity through sport. One of the most contentious issues that has plagued ONE involves the heartbreaking demise of renowned mixed martial artist Yang Jianbing. The athlete lost his life after undergoing an intense weight-cutting regimen ahead of a high-profile bout at a ONE Championship event held in China. He subjected himself to a grueling process that took a considerable toll on his already fatigued body. He was rushed to the hospital due to severe dehydration, but despite the valiant efforts of medical personnel, he succumbed to his condition. This tragedy prompted ONE Championship to take swift and decisive action, resulting in the implementation of new weight-cutting protocols. So that's a wrap for this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up to show appreciation and click the subscribe button to support us. Thanks for watching.